China has so much history and so much culture. I can speak one of the ethnic minority group languages.
What's your favorite Chinese food?
Gosh.
We know that Yunnan is a province with, I think, with 25 ethnic minorities, and together with Han people, that will be 26, right? So, what are the customs or what are the things you know about China's ethnic minorities?
Well, I can speak one of the ethnic minority group languages, the Han people.
傣族.
I can speak Han. You say there's 26, but there's more, because you can you have one branch. But then even that branch, there's different Daizu, there's different Izu, there's different Hani, there's all these different, they have subgroups. And so it really is so interesting to go around and just listen to different people speak their languages, because it's kind of the same, but still very different. And really just the fuzhuang, the different dress.
The dress, the clothing.
Yes, with the Hani people, they're known as the people of 1,000 dresses. And so just because you have all these different subgroups or even different villages will have their own kind of dress to differentiate themselves from the other ones. If you go to Dali, I think there's got the Baizu. And so the Baizu people have a very different dress than the Dai people, but it's all one province. That's why it's so interesting. It's so multicultural. I am grateful for Chinese because it allows me to communicate, because I can't study so many languages. But everybody knows a little bit of Chinese, and so we can all speak Chinese to learn from each other. Just again, there's so much history, so much culture here in Yunnan.
You know a lot here in Yunnan. You know a lot. I have asked this question for a lot of people, especially foreigners here in China. Before you come to China, 13 years ago, what do you think China is like? And after you have been here 13 years, what do you think changed the most?
China has so much history and so much culture, and you could just spend your whole life learning Chinese history and culture. I want to live in other places too and continue to learn. Yes, I knew about the Great Wall, growing up in school, you were taught about Great Wall, and you're told everybody rides bikes. When I came to China, I actually couldn't even use chopsticks. I didn't speak one word of Chinese. When I was using chopsticks, by the halfway through the meal, my hand was hurting. I just came, I was very green. It was very green. I was xinshou. It was good. I feel like that's how you need to be. You just have to go see for yourself. And I would say that's my biggest takeaway, is people are people. It doesn't matter where you go. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. We all have hopes and dreams, and we're all the same in that way. We have different ways of seeking it because we're from different cultures. Yes, there's cultural differences that can be learned, and that's why I think I encourage everybody to learn languages. When you learn language, you open up the opportunity to share yourself with other people so they can learn, but also for you to learn from them. We have family, we have friends that they hear stuff in the news or whatever. Oh, did you hear about this? They're just I never see this. This doesn't happen where I live. This isn't day-to-day life. One shooting in America and go, oh, everybody runs around with guns all the time. It's no, that's not what America's like every day in every place. No, that's not normal life. That's just one crazy thing that happened. You can't read one thing and think, oh, well, that's everybody every time. We just think, again, we're all just people. We're all just living life.
We may from different places. We may from different countries, different culture, different backgrounds, and we may have the different color of skin, right? And we may speak different languages. Well, when I was doing live streams, there were a lot of people ask me, if I'm black, can I go to China? Or if I'm I don't speak Chinese, can I go to China? I think of course you can, right? We welcome everyone, and I think people really need to be open-minded to impress every culture and every people from different places. I think the humanity is the same. If you want to know about China, if you want to know about the Chinese culture, the best way is definitely to be inside the culture, right? To talk with the locals, to talk with the vendors on the market.
Right.
Right? Over the past 13 years, what impressed you? What are the changes in China that you think is really impressive?
China is a very mountainous place. In America, we have a lot of flat lands. In where I'm from in Texas, you just build a highway and it's just straight, flat, and you just go. In Yunnan especially, but really all across China, it's just so many mountains. The road system in Yunnan has just, it's amazing. It's amazing. I've watched the construction of these things, and we have such a respect for Chinese engineering.
Infrastructure.
Yeah. It's right now they're building a high-speed train from Kunming to Thailand, you know? And it's like crazy to see what they can do.
Last year, I have been to Tibet and Xinjiang, you know, like the remote areas. That will be my first time to be the remote areas, especially in the northwest and the southwest part of China. And what impressed me a lot is also the road. We've driven to the southernmost county, I should say, village or county to Tibet, and the road is like zigzag. It's like this. Even though it's like this, but we still can drive over there. From May to June this year, we've also do another program. It is called Along China's Express. We'll drive from the southeast part of China, it's Fujian, directly to Xi'an in Shanxi province.
Yeah.
That will be 2,000 kilometers. I should say it's really an exhausted journey. It's really an exhausted journey in 2,000 kilometers in 2 weeks. Along the way, we can know that the landscape changes and the language, and also the language, and also the food, the cuisine, everything is different. But we can see that everything is quite amazing, especially we know that how large is China, how big is China. If you have a chance like to bring something back to the United States and you want to have something from the United States to China, what would be the thing?
I would take WeChat back to America. I mean, everything is on WeChat, so I can just talk to my friends on WeChat, I can pay on WeChat. I mean, in America, we're still using credit cards. They've tried in America to get some like Apple Pay and stuff like that to really take off, but it hasn't taken off. Even now we've started doing with COVID, there's been a lot more like DoorDash or these other apps like Meituan or Ele.me. They just deliver food to your door, but it's not near as convenient as Chinese apps are. But even for me, still the easiest answer is I just would take the language back. I just wish everybody could share the language, 'cause even language in and of itself is so interesting. And there's so much culture to be learned in the language itself. It's just like, everybody, let's learn everything we can about each other so we can all get to know each other better.
Exactly. The language itself is just a 载体, right? It's just a bridge connecting people. Once you learn the language, you learn more about its culture. I did a street interview on the streets of Beijing and asked people how do they think about this kind of Asian hate. And one answer I got from a guy from South Africa, he said that it is just not a typical thing. Once you bring one America or one Chinese or one people from another place, they can sit here and they can chat and they can enjoy a meal together. So, which doesn't mean that it is culture influence, right?
That's the biggest thing, and that's what I would encourage, you know, Americans to do with Chinese or Chinese to do with Americans.
So what do you want to bring from States to China? What do you miss here?
You know tacos, right?
Yeah.
Tacos and burritos, yeah. And so that's where we're from in Texas. That's the specialty.
You can definitely have a store here in Pu'er or in Kunming or in Yunnan.
You can sell them for 10 kwai, and I think it would go over really well here.
Since you've come up with the cuisine, the most exciting part, I think, of my trip. So, what's your favorite Chinese food? You can only list 3.
3 favorite Chinese foods. That's hard. Okay, it's Chinese sticky rice. They make it with beef jerky. You can put mushrooms or chicken and all this other stuff in it. The rice noodles are the best in Yunnan specifically. And then if I can take one other thing home, free-range chicken soup is just so good here.
I'm from like northern part of China. I think my favorites would be totally different from yours.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Mine would be like dumplings and the hot pot. Because in Beijing we have like the bronze hot pot. Yeah, together with the sesame paste. I love sesame paste.
Oh really?
Yeah, dumplings, hot pot, and noodles. Yeah, because northern people love noodles. Different from southern people. Southern people love to have rice.
Right. Even our noodles are rice noodles.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, even in America, you can go to different places and there's different specialties, but not like China. Every place has its own 特色. I love traveling around China and trying the different things.
that's the beauty of traveling. We travel to different places. We can experience the local culture, custom, and
Yeah.
also food. The key is the food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying out-
There is a Chinese saying, I don't know if you know that, is 民以食为天. So Chinese people take food as the priority thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.